a lot more sauce.
Anyway, this is gonna be my last tutorial for 3-on-3. I'm gonna try to go over as much as I can and as little as possible so that I can explain it clearly and you can just run the video back and listen to what you need to hear once again. So, basics. Just to cover them, when you're first starting the game, please finish your entire training. Pick a character from the free characters. It doesn't matter if it's shooting guard like Kim or if it's point guard like Cindy, Pedro. I recommend Pedro. Pedro is a good first starting choice if you're deciding that you really want to work on a character. Then you also have William, Joey. Joey's a very good, solid choice. He's very meta. No matter what kind of timeline or any DLC that'll come out, Joey will forever be a good character. Murdoch is great. Murdoch is a great choice if you feel like you like to block. I like to block. Blocking is very important. And Luther is a very common choice when it comes to centers, because he technically is the best person with vertical that is free to play. Lee is a great shot for a center if you understand how playmaking works. But nevertheless, I recommend when you're starting the game, choose one character and by the color or their position. If you're playing Joey, like William, because there's things like P-buffs that come into play. So once you're building up where you're becoming more nice at the game, you start working on this page here in the background, which is called P, literally. But they're not going to be everything. What's more, whenever you first start playing, buy like 4 skill balls a day. That's exactly what the advice I was given. Buy 4 skill balls a day. They level up every single skill that you have on one character. And then go to another small forward and do that for them. And until you can fill up 4 slots. If you can't afford any money, I can understand if you play somebody like Cindy or Kim. If you're more advanced, you probably already know this. So I'm gonna go over a little bit of playmaking. Of course I'm on Kim right now. Understand your character, please. Understand what they do, understand everything they have available. Because overall, it's just a natural law in basketball. 2s are easier to shoot than 3s. So if you have proper playmaking shooting 2s, it'll come naturally shooting 3s. But it's harder to do it by yourself if you're not passing the ball. Of course, getting a pass back is very important for characters, especially like him, because they come with skills like quick shot, which when they get the ball, you can hold square and it'll shoot it for them. Of course, for the people that know this, I'm just going over simple basics right now, but there's a lot of key tricks that people do. They'll often come from the middle, go to the left, and make their opponent choose from right or left. If they keep up with them, they'll probably go this way and come back, or they'll go this way and keep going, thinking that they're gonna jump because you moved to a different spot. If you pump fake, they're more than likely going to jump, especially if you rock them. That little animation when there's an exclamation over their head, you rock them. So that gives you a free shot, right? But everybody's gonna jump at a shot like that. Everybody's gonna jump at your second shot as well. If you pump fake twice, 9 times out of 10 your opponent's gonna jump. So the objective here is to, of course, pump fake, pass it to your teammate, get the ball back in your bucket, right? When you're new, you're not gonna hit a lot of 3s, and it makes sense. So, of course, try to go for a layup if there's no big in the center. But it's always good for playmaking. If you can go to the paint, of course, the big will stay there to block you because it's easy to block you at the paint. So pass the ball off and then go to the 3-pointer. 9 times out of 10, what's gonna happen is the person that was holding you is gonna now pick up that big because they're not at the paint anymore. So that leaves you open because now that big that was holding you at the paint needs to come out with you when you run to the 3, which leaves your big open for a dunk. That's a defensive breakdown. I don't know how many people know that, but it's very easy to cause a defensive breakdown in the game. When you make more than one person hold you and you force 2 people to jump at you, that's a defensive breakdown. A lot of good people, of course, know this, and it's easy to shoot on 2 people to a degree once you've become like very good at the game. But for like playmaking wise, it's just important to know that when you do build your characters, certain teamwork won't happen. So shoot twos. Twos are always easier to shoot than twos. Alright, so I'm gonna go over this one last trick before I get into a real game. There's a very easy way to shoot the ball on your opponent, but it's kind of a cheat. Alright, so on the left and right side of the court where I'm at right now, right, there's a corner right here, which is a completely different shot. This is not the same as blocking all of right here. If you come to this corner where it kind of breaks off at, this is a different shot. So this is 3 different shots right here. This is 1, this is 2, all of this is 2, this is 3, right? So there's 3 ways your opponent has to guess. They need to stand either somewhere right here to block you right here. They need to stand somewhere over here to block you in this space over here, right? They need to stand like right here. So it kind of cuts off at this point, because when your opponent's right here, that's a good shot if they decide to shoot, right? Especially if you jump wrong, because what'll happen is the character, the box that's supposed to be in front of you, they are blocking towards the corner, so it makes the character jump at an angle to block the shot that you're taking, which means they will travel behind you and you can shoot a free shot. That doesn't always work on the corner when you're like furthest in the middle, so it's best to do this when you have a shot over here, when you're like selecting a shot between 1 and 2. That's why 3 is like only if you're like try hard, you know you're gonna be like 100% if they fucking just doing stupid shit. When you're right here, it's easy, any character can do this. You go forward, come back, left, back, pump fake. When you're in the corner, they'll push you to the other side, like in 2. They'll push you from 1 to 2, and you're shooting a completely different shot. It's up to you if you make it, because that's your ability cards. But that's a little pro trick. Try it out. I'm not sure how many people know this, but it's kind of common. Up, down, over, pump fake. If they don't jump, pass the ball. Don't ever like do stupid shit against a Pedro. I mean, that's why Pedro is a good character, like free to play to start off with, because doing something like that is dangerous. Pedro only has to get really close to the ball to take it. So if you make him jump early, that's good. But I don't recommend pump faking afterwards, because they don't respect it. Anyway, hope you enjoyed.